Lesson 12 in Unit 5 on subtracting decimals tends to give the kids a lot more problems. The reason for that is because they are they're weak on their math facts for one, but they're also, when they get into situations like this where there's a zero and they don't know how to borrow properly when there's a placeholder that doesn't actually have a value in it. So they struggle with this. So I'm going to give you an example of what that is. The rule of thumb is the same for adding, for subtracting decimals as it was for adding, and that is we line up our decimals. All our columns have to line up. So in this case, right over here, we have $20.15 subtract $9.48, and that is question number F from right on the left-hand side here. So what some of the kids might do is they would say, okay, 5 minus 8 I can't do, so let's borrow from the 1. This becomes a 0, and this becomes 15. Then they'll say 15 subtract 8, that gives me a 7. But then they get to here and they go, I don't know how to do this because I need to borrow. I can't do 0 subtract 4, but I can't borrow because I don't have anything to borrow from. Well, the rule is you borrow, if you try to subtract, if you can't subtract, you borrow, then you subtract again. If you still can't, you got to borrow again. So we go from here, we say 0 subtract 4, we can't do, so we need to borrow. So 2 becomes a 1, and we bring that over there. We've done our borrowing, let's try to subtract again. 0 subtract 4 we still can't do, so now we have to borrow again. This becomes a 9, and this now is a 10. Now we subtract again. 10 subtract 4, this is a 6, a nasty looking 6, but nonetheless. 9 subtract 9 is 0, and we bring the 1 down because there's nothing there. $10.67. Now let me go back and show you where a lot of kids go wrong. So they will, when they start doing this, they're going to do this. 5 subtract 8 is 3. 1 subtract 4 is also 3. And then they get here and they go, oh no, I can't do this, 0 subtract 9, I have to borrow. Well, they didn't do 5 subtract 8, they did 8 subtract 5, and they did 4 subtract 1. So their subtraction processes are weak, and their math facts are very, very weak. So they're not using the processes correctly. There's the answers for that one, and as you go down, that's what you should get.